Drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Welcome to SAP UI5 training session. In this training session, we're gonna see extending UI5 controls. So first of all, we have to see why we have to extend controls. There are about 100 to 200 controls in SAP UI5. So when it comes to button or any text view or anything, we have controls. So there are two ways of extending these controls. Before that, the purpose of extending control is, suppose we don't have any properties inside that button control, we can add our own controls, own properties. Let us take an example now. Button, when you press, there is an event already in the standard SAP UI5 control. Now you want to add a H over, which is not there at present, because the button, when you hover it, there is no event now. You can handle that event by extending it. That is one way of doing extending controls, using already existing control and extend it. And next way, the second way is, you can start your own control from scratch. You can start, like you can give properties, you can name it, how to look that, etc. So suppose we have a Google control which is not there in SAP UI5 now. There are some other controls which have a map but not exactly Google control. So you can have your own Google control. How are you going to do that? You have to write the code from scratch. We'll be seeing those two in this sessions. So we'll break these sessions into two parts. First part is extending one existing control, and the next is creating our own control. So see, there will be so many JavaScript libraries. So each library will behave in a different way. So there are some already existing JavaScript libraries which we can make use of it in a runtime. So as we know, like jQuery is extended from JavaScript, just to simplify. Similarly, data.js, there's a concept in data.js where we have charts and etc. So all the charts which you see in SAP UI5, that has been taken by data.js. It's a beautiful JavaScript library available. So it is data.js, we say, and by using data.js, all the chart related controls have been developed from data.js. So that's the reason data.js is very prominent one. So it's a Microsoft product. It's driven OData library, which already is. It will handle JSON and XML format. And there are other libraries also. If you are interested, you can have a look. That is FLOT, Float, and Protovis. That's SVG. So SVG is nothing but, when we talk about Canvas and SVG, it has nothing but, it is a drawing, to draw a chart, etc. So Canvas is a JavaScript libraries extended version, that is jQuery. So it's jQuery plugin, Canvas, and it can display or plot your graphs. And the next is SVG. SVG is nothing but scalar vector graphics. Here also you can plot your graphs based on your data. So these are two things which can draw your graph. So graph is nothing but pictorial representation of your data. So this is very important when it comes to dashboards. There are so many dashboards in the market. You can make use of SAP UI5 controls or extend your controls and give a beautiful dashboard. So nowadays, like, there are so many dashboards now which are available and people are developing now as a SAP UI5 consultant. for big companies like Nestle, etc. So you have to make sure that get the data in the format of OData or JSON or XML, and you can make use of that and plot your graph. And how you gonna do it? We'll be seeing the graphical things in a separate concept called CVOM charts. That time it's already there. How to draw and exactly how you use Viz charts. In SAP UI5 we have Viz charts, right? So similarly, so that concept is particularly defined in separate session. So in this session we'll concentrate on custom control. When we say custom control, graph can also be a custom control. That is the reason this information has been included in this. Suppose if you want to have a pie chart which is not there and you want to customize your own pie chart, that time what do? You have to start from scratch. Build your own control pie chart if you can. If not, extend the existing pie chart which is available in SAP UI5 Viz chart pie chart, that can be extended with your additional properties. So how do you extend it? Extend with the extend keyword. So that is one. So everything is placed in the escape view. You can download it. So it will go to this extended one. If you want, you can download this type of files, and these are old files, but I'll be giving you a new one in the while we doing the exercises. We can make use of those code, and then you can build your own control. So there's an example also available, but it is not available right now because it's deprecated. So we'll have our own control because this link may not be working for everyone. So this is how when you want to extend anything or you want to start your own custom control. So this is how we do. Just understand the structure, and then we'll be seeing the live example. This is how it's a basic example, just a structure. How do you going to do it? Just you have to visualize it. So here what he's trying to do is trying to create a HTML control with a placeholder. So there's a py container. In this py container he has added a div. So see HTML, OHTML, SAP UI code.html. This HTML content is adding, and then he is attaching this plot data. Okay, this is how the structure is. So whatever we do, it is after rendering. There's a control is existing. Let it display first, and then add your own custom thing. So we're gonna do after rendering. Let the present existing control display, and then you add your own property, whatever. Here what is trying to do is adding an extra event. Attaching after rendering in is adding some data that is called series, and in that series is showing some information, that is data information. Okay, you can do like this. After rendering only you can do when you are extending the control, existing control. Similarly, if you are starting a new control, it will be the similar format only. It will be OHTML, and then on after rendering you'll write it. So what is the difference between extending SAP UI5 control and creating a new control from the scratch? This example gives you a clear understanding of control which is developed from the scratch. So here they have taken HTML content, and then on after rendering they are handling it, how this control should look and what this control should do, like this. So similarly, when you extend SAP UI5 present control like calendar control or button control, that will have this logic. Here you will have SAP UI5 control here instead of OHTML, SAP UI5 control. After displaying that control, you will attach on after rendering and you will do operations. Clear? And you will be getting more idea when we do a live example. Here you understand how the structure looked like. So There are few more controls. See, this is how the controls can be extended. But the extend keyword, and that is extend method, that is available for all base controls. And how do you create a new control? That is SAP UI.core.control.extend, and inside that you will give your name and then definition of it. So you want to extend a button control. So how do you going to do it? Create a new control which inherits from button. That is SAP UI commons.button.extend. This is extend keyword. And the parameters for these functions are up to you. You can define your own control type and etc. And that will be your own API. Now you can use external APIs, like we are talking about Google Control. When we talk about Google Control, that time you can have an extended Google API inside your control, and you can make use of it. Such as we have getters and setters, and similarly we need to have aggregations, and we need to have attach events, detach events. See, the basic control, if you take any basic control, button has properties, button has events, button has methods. Button doesn't have any aggregation association, right? When you take sap.m.list, m.list has properties, methods, aggregation called items, and then events when you tap, when you change, etc. This is how. So whenever we create control, we need to understand what properties it has, what aggregations we're going to do, and what events we're going to handle. Everything you have to understand before writing the control. So basic example of extending or writing a new control, that is like this. Here I'm setting the name of the control to my hello. So SAP UI.core.control.extend, that is my control, and I'm giving a meta information like this, and properties, and inside properties we have name property that has setters and getters by default. You don't have to write explicitly anything, getter or setter method. When you include these properties, this you're extending, right, UI.control, it automatically creates getter and setter. And renderer is doing on after rendering. So function, the name, and then O control. So orm.write, inside this we have hello, and we are creating hello control. So that displays only hello. Whenever you give a name, then this control comes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a basic example now. We're gonna close everything. So I'm going to take a new project which has custom control. Custom control. I can take extending controls. Extending controls. So I'm not going to create any initial view. I'm going to say finish. Once I say finish, this will get a default index.html. So when you get index.html, we will see a bootstrap and a script and a body with a default library sap.m. So now what we're going to do is we have to create a basic control which is here, hello. We're going to copy this and we have to place inside your script, and then you have to remove this, yeah, and Ctrl Shift F will be formatting the text. So the properties name, it gives setter and getter, and next is O rendering, and then it gives a part of the HTML, and then this gives a property name, right, a control property. So we're gonna do this. So we're gonna extend this. So this is how a normal custom control. But we'll be seeing a few more examples where you can have a clear idea about custom control. So we'll take a live example, restart the server. So it will take some time and then it gets restarted. And once it gets restarted, yeah, it has some trouble. So when you get such type of errors, what you have to do is you have to say OK, and you have to go to your server and you have to right click, and there is a clean button that doesn't exist now, but there should be some problem. Yeah, now it's got. So I'm going to clear few things. Yeah, I'm going to so SAP UFI app 2. Yeah, I'm going to remove you. Okay, so ours is extended controls that has been added. So what you have to do is you have to go here, you have to clean first, then you can, because when you do cleaning, you are just cleaning all the existing errors, and if already some process is running, it will be closed, and then that time you can start your Tomcat and it should restart. So it is starting still and it takes some time, but it automatically gets started. It all depends on your RAM speed, and what you can do is you can copy this and see the output how it looks like. So paste it here and run it, and we're gonna see some errors. So there are some errors. Yeah, unidentifier. So when you run again, it will give you the index.html 15. So when you go here, it gives you some error. So what this kind of error is? Unidentified syntax error. So we'll go there. So these are the properties, and the properties need to be closed. I think this is how the property and metadata is closed. Yeah, metadata has properties, and then render. Save this. Yeah, this is your custom control. This is UI5. So you have written UI5? No, but it automatically gives you a UI5. This is how the custom control is. Hello UI5. Okay, this is a basic example. See how they have written. There will be name string. How this name is coming here. We are giving the name here. So you can write your own name, John. So here what I'm trying to do, I'm creating a control from scratch, like control with an extend keyword, and I'm giving a name for this. Anything I can give, my.hello. Same thing I have to use here. New, I'm creating an instance here, and then I'm giving a meta information that has properties. So inside these properties we have name and a string. So name string, because name accepts only string. Here you have to give string. Okay, and then render, and then ORM, right? So I'm writing a span with a hello, and then after that I'm getting a control name, get name. So how this get name works, because I have already given name, so this is how get name, and how we am setting the name here. This is a basic HTML display. So span, so this span contains hello and then name, whatever you have set here, it comes here, and then inside this span it will be closed. Then you are creating an instance and you are giving a name here, that is what you are setting, and you are placing it at content. This is a basic example. So we'll see few more in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to Control C and I'm going to create one more page here. You can make use of this web content. I'm going to create a new file, index.html, that is HTML file. You can say create file, that is hello control, so that in future it can be easy for you to see how we have done my hello control. I'm going to place it. You can directly run from here also. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to delete this content because I'm going to do few more examples for you for your better understanding. So that how my hello control I have placed with a new name. What I have done is right click, new file, and I have created this file called my hello control. So right click this file and you can run on web app preview. So once you click on web app preview, this will get called. So what you have to do is you can see hello John. So how do you open an external URL? This is like this, you can extend like this. So you can close this now and you can now we'll do. So now what we do now is we'll be doing some custom control now. So inside this custom control, I'm going to show what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to do a button control, index.html. So first we'll see how the button control works, and then we're going to extend that button control. So I'm going to add a button control. I'm going to do a O button. I'm taking a name equal to new SAP UI.commons.button. So button has a property, and I'm going to place a button in the content. I'm going to place, I'm going to save. So inside this button we have properties called name, the name property, text we have called my button. Okay, so we'll go here and we're gonna refresh this extending control now. So it has to come with a button. Why it is not coming? Because we have taken SAP UI.commons, but have we included in the library? No. Here we have to include it. So once we include, save it, and then go here and just refresh. Once you get refresh, it should come. So once you go to console, it says undefined is not a function. So SAP UI.commons.button, and inside the button we have text, and inside the text we are not placing anything, but we are placing that O button into place it. See, Yeah, sorry. This whatever we have taken place at is normal t. Clear? Small t, not a big T. Sometimes I type too fast, so I forgot to remove the caps lock. It is capital A and T. It happens, and I'm going to refresh it once again. So once I refresh, see the button came. So these are. So inside this, I'm going to add a press event now. Press event. That is, I'm going to have function. So inside this function, I'm going to display sap.ui.comments. There is an alert dialog box. So how do you check alert dialog box? We have to go to here and we're going to open SDK, software development kit. So this is the one which I'm going to use. So it's get loaded and yeah, it should get loaded. So if it's not loaded, there might be some internet problem. So what we're going to do is we can use a local, because we have already a local backup that is called demo app 2. So that gives you the localhost demo app 2. Demo app 2 gives you, this is not there, check demo app 2. Yeah, demo app 2 is not there here. So we can just run this on the server, and you want to change, yes, and I'm going to finish. And once I get finished, it's just I want to restart. So once it gets restarted, you can make use of the demo app 2. So demo app 2 is nothing but our local SDK. So once your internet is not working and you want to work on any of the SAP UF application, that time you can use your SDK locally. So we have seen how do we deploy a local setup for SDK. So we're going to close this process so that it gets faster. And yeah, here instead of this we can have an alert also. Anything is possible inside this press event, but I'm going to put a SAP UI5 standard alert. So there are standard alerts that we can see now. Not valid. Yeah, it will take some time and it will get loaded because it's a heavy file. It's almost like 125 MB. Usually SAP UI5 products won't be more than 60 MB, or not 60 MB, I'm talking about 16 KB, 25 KB, 30 KB maximum. Like big projects will be around 30 MB, 40 MB, not 125 MB. This file has 125 MB. Now it's asked for restart. Yes, I'm going to restart. I'm going to restart. Once I get restarted, so it is saying like, yeah, it's publishing now. Let's get stopped, and my servlet engine is started now, and within no time it will get updated. So started. Now I can use demo app 2. So I'm going to just refresh it with F5, and my software development kit should be seen. See, this is the local one. So if my internet is not working, I can make use of the local copy. You don't have to rely on internet when you work on SAP UF applications. And then there's a development kit and a controls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go see API reference and collapse all, and then I'm going to go to SAP UI because I'm going to use alert. So SAP UI and commons dot alert, we will be seeing. So message. So there's a message here. So this message gives you that. It's a design, we can make use of this. So get design, get text. So inside this we can add text. So we'll give you SAP UI.commons.message. Okay, we can use this. So I'll go there. So commons.message, M is capital. Message I'm going to display. So I'm going to place var o message equal to, and it's end. So in the end I'm going to type text. So here inside this text we have to place what text you want to display. So I want to display my button pressed. And I'm going to save this, and after this message I'm going to return this message so that it can display. Return spelling is wrong here, and o message. So this is how I'm going to return it. So I'm going to see it is getting refreshed, yeah, synchronized. So I'll go here, I'm going to refresh this extending control. Yeah, when I press this there should be a message. So we'll go to source code, and with that we'll see our code is updated. Yes, it's get updated. So it has to come here whenever we press this. Yeah, and then we're gonna see home message. Home message is like this. It has a text. And properties, there are no properties. Yes, and properties, and then properties text, and we're gonna display. So why it is not coming? Because this sap.ui.commons message, what does it do is it will send the message to message bar. That is the reason it is not coming. So what we have to use, we have to use some other control now, because I just wanted to show you why this message is not working, because sometimes people will think like SAP UI.commons.message, when we use it should come, but this message will be sending it to message bar. When you have a message bar, that time you can make use of this. So it's always good to read what we do. It creates some messages to be supplied to the message bar. So we have some message bar you can have, and this control has been deprecated. 1.4, a new message concept will be created in future. Therefore the control might be removed out of the next version. See, it's been replicated. So now we can use message box. So this creates a standard alerts, confirmation dialects, and etc. So we can have this there. So instead of this message, we can have sap.ui.message box. So inside this we'll have directly, we can pass a value. Okay, we'll see what the properties. SAP UI.commons.message box. SAP UI.commons.message box. It has a vMessage. So vMessage is to display in the alert box, and there's a callback function. If you have an alert, like if it's an action or anything, then that time you can have a callback function. You can give the title of this, etc. it's a confirm message, you can have a confirm like this. If you want to have a show, just show message. If you want to have normal alert, you can have like this alert. So if we want to get what we want to show is alert now. So message book dot alert. Now we're gonna refresh our page. Once we click button, there is a my button pressed event. So close, press it, my button pressed. So similarly, what we want to do is we want to extend this button control, and I'm going to have some H over event on it. So what is H over event is, when I go here, yeah, like this, when I'm H overing it, I'm not even pressing it. When I H over it, I need to display something. Okay, I want to do something when I H over it. That is not existing now in the button control. If you want, you can have a look in the APIs, button API. We have to go and we have to check. Go here, button API, and you can have SAP UI.commerce.button. Inside this, we have only press event. There is no H over event. We're gonna customize it now. So this is how it is. The properties: text, enable, visible, width, help, etc. And associations are this, and then events are only press. So we're gonna have our own control. So I'll be here. So I'm going to write now, because I don't want to use this button now anymore. I'm going to comment this. Okay. This is an example for. This is an example for button control. Now I'm going to extend this control now. So how do I'm going to extend this? Like this. This is extending button. In SAP UI5. So I'm going to add it like this: SAP UI.commerce.button.extend, and I'm giving a name called H over button, because I'm going to do that. And in this meta information, I'm just placing the events called H over. And once I do it, I'm doing a mouse over event. I'm firing an event. That event firing will do some operation called just to display. So my control. So we'll see how this control look like. So I'm going to refresh the page, and I'm going to see now. So I'm refreshing it. So once I refresh, mouse over me, text. Once I mouse over, there's a button, and when again mouse over, it will come. Okay, and again when I go here, mouse over, see the button was mouse over. So you can do like this. I'm extending a control. So we'll see each by each line, and we compare how it has been displayed here. See how's the word went. And what I'm going to do is, first have started with SAP UI.commerce.button.extend, and inside this extend I have H over button. So once I have H over button, so inside this we have a meta information. Inside this meta information, this is how we define extended control. So similarly, if you see in Fiori applications or any SAP UI5 applications where you extend component like UI.component.extend, we have seen, like when we see OSHL example in mobile. So like that, that's the extended of components. So that time also they have used extend keyword to extend controls. Similarly, here we have a same class called extend. We are extending. So this is a class SAP UI.commons.button, and we are extending this. We are extending with a new property called hover. So in the meta information, we have to give that. So the meta information is nothing but metadata, which has properties, aggregations, associations, like this. So we have events. Inside these events, we have hover, and hover we have this type of data. So once we do a hover, meta information, events, and when we do hover, we have to leave like this, because it is an event. So event has a function. So for that function, we have to leave like this. So meta information, events, hover. Inside the hover, this also have an hover event in addition to press. It doesn't mean that it will override a press event. So many get confused here. So they'll be thinking, yes, there is an event already existing, press event. So when we say extend, the existing properties, aggregations, associations, anything which associated will remain as it is. But the extra property, extra anything if you want to add, here we are adding event. So extra event even adding, we have to declare that event here. That's it. And then we have to close this meta information, and then we have to give on mouse over. So on mouse over event, we are giving for this hover. So there's a function, it's called when the button is hovered. No event registration is required. Just give on mouse over, because on mouse over is nothing but a mouse on hover. So you are saying fire an event. Fire event called hover. Fire hover. This is how the hover will be called when you do a mouse over. That's the reason you are doing on mouse over here. So this on mouse over, whenever we do, that's the reason, all small here, on mouse over. So this is standard thing when you over any button, that time it is already there. So if you have to give on mouse over here, and then you have to write a function. So function, because it's an event handler, so right here, and then you say this dot fire hover. So this means it fire hover event. And then we have taken my control. That's how you create a new control, and the name of that control is hover button. See, whatever the name we have given here, it has to be here, same thing, because we have named this control with hover button. And inside this we give ID. Inside this text, because the text is already the property of button, we can make use of it. So hover me, and then we have hover. Why this hover means it has to be the name, same name here, whatever the name is here, that time. Okay. So on mouse over, fire this event. We have declared. This is globally we have to declare, because it has to understand, right? So what is the thing you are doing? Suppose if you are pressing something and handling it, that you can do. Press event is already there, so it's hovering it. So some jQuery or JavaScript things need to be included. This is a jQuery thing on mouse over. On mouse there is a jQuery thing which is already existing, so we have to use that standard thing. The system, our application need to understand what you are doing. If you are doing something with the mouse, yes. How I identify, how application identifies. Application identifies like this, with this keyword on mouse over, and then it fires this fire hover. See hover, and then you write hover event, and inside this you just say the button, and you're getting the ID of this hover my button. Event.getSource.get ID will give you this button instance, and it was over, it will say. And then whatever you are trying to do is you are placing this control place an event, and inside this you have content. So this is how you're gonna do extending the control of button. And we'll go here and we'll check with F12 in the console. I'm going to remove this breakpoint. Meta information is there, so you can see when this event is called and when this event is called. First we are doing this, so this means your system is throwing something. How it is throwing your system to the application? JavaScript functions, jQuery functions. So there is a jQuery function on mouse over, so that triggers this. So this will fire your local application event, that is fire hover. So once I say, it will come here, then you will see this event.getSource.getID. So what does it mean is, you have to copy this and you can see my button. So when you hover it, it gives you my button. So whatever the ID you have given to your control, new control, that will come here and display. This is how a sample HO event you are extending your button. So once you say press, this is been done. So instead of this alert, I'm going to place a standard SAP URL control, that is, so this text will be the same. Now I'm going to do a return SAP UI dot comments dot message box dot alert, and then it is new. Just use play this new and give this button. We'll see whether it is coming or not when we are not returning it. So we'll see the behavior now. So I'm going to refresh this page so that my code gets updated. No, I haven't get updated. So what I have to do is, I have to empty the cache and reload it again. And I'm going to see whether it is, yes, now it is updated. You can see the code here, SAP. Once I H over it, this call, and next will be that particular, and we're going to return yes. Because when you say alert without returning, it will return this function. Okay, you don't have to explicitly write return here. So this H over event will return whatever the control is inside. So it is alert, so it automatically gets returned. So this is how the button extending. Now what we see is, now we'll see a new control, that is notepad control. There's a text box, so I'll say wait. Yeah. So when I show it, button comes. Okay, I'm going to refresh it and I'm going to add a text field now. So this is the one way of doing. Another one simple example, we'll see the text field and we'll wind up this for this session. And the next session will start a new control, custom control called Google control. That will be very interesting because something which is dealing with Google. So we'll do that. Meanwhile, we'll finish off. So I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this code, and now another example for So a lot of people will get confused because I'm using an index.html. Why can't I use a .js file and do it? So that is what we're going to do now. So we're going to create a new file and we'll do it. Not this custom control, we're going to extending controls. Okay, extending control. Inside this we'll have a separate folder, and inside this folder we have something. Okay, so another example for extending existing controls, SAP UI5 controls. And I'm going to save this. So once I save this, now what I have to do, I have to, inside this web content, I'm going to create a new folder first. So inside this folder, I'm going to create a new folder with custom controls. So inside this custom controls, I'm going to place a new view. How are you going to place a new view? New other sources. And I'm going to have a view here. I'm going to have a next view, a JavaScript view, or XML, whatever you can take. I'll take a JavaScript view. So inside this JavaScript view, I'm going to place a control called extending text field. Extend text field. I'm going to see a finish, and I'm going to get this type of controls. See, custom control extend text field. You haven't written anything, but it automatically gets created. This view and this controller gets created. That's the beauty of doing it. You don't have to copy paste or do anything. Write your code, you can directly do such things. So I'm going to remove this control. Inside this create control empty, and I'm going to create my own control now. Okay, I'm going to save it. So for this, I already have a code. I'm going to place that code over here. So here is the code for extending the button control we have done. So the text field. So the text field control is this one. So I'm going to write it in this, and I'm going to remove this comment here, and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to return this. Control Shift F, it gets highlighted, and I'm going to save it. So here I'll put a semicolon, because I want to end this statement. I'm going to save this, and inside this create content, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to take a SAP UI.com as text field. I'm going to extend this text field. So how the text field looks, we're going to see that first, and we're going to extend it. So how the text field is, we know. So how the text field works, we'll create first text field, and then we'll use this code, normal text field, and we'll see the difference. You can see the difference, because without seeing the original SAP UI5 control, how we do it, we can't see much difference, right? So we have to do a text field. So how we're going to do a text field is new sap.ui.commons.text field. Yeah, see text field, and then you're gonna return this text field. Now when you return this control, you have to include in this index.html, you have to call this particular view. How are you gonna call from index.html to a new view? That is, you have to create a O view, where O view equal to, because we have already done it, just try to recollect it, new sap.ui.view. Inside this view we give a view name, and then we're gonna return that oview dot place it. We're gonna do this in the content, because this content is here. So in that sap.ui.view, what we give? We give a view type. First view name, ID is text view 1, and inside this we give a view name. So view name is a property. So view name will be, what will be the view name? It is custom controls dot extend control. Extend text field. Extend text field. That's it. And then we have to give a view type. So what is the type? That is view type. So what is the view type? View type is JS. Clear. So after this, we're gonna run our application and see. I'm going to say wait. I'm going to refresh this. So once I get refresh, and it gives some error. So we're going to see in the console. So view type is, no view type is specified. So there is no view type. So there is type. So there is no view type specified. .js, extend view.js, custom controls, type is, we're going to see, so still it says view type. Our code is not extended. See, when you say fail to load custom.controls / extend text field.view type, so it is not getting. Okay, this is a correct view type only, but it is not coming. So what we're gonna do? So you have to load your resource. So how are you gonna do? sap.ui.load resources, and you have to give this name, because this is not getting called. Okay, so this is how you load resources. sap.ui.load resources. If you want, you can check here. It is sap.ui.load resources. It is local resources, not load resources. It is local resources. I'm going to save this. So now I'm not going to change anything. I have whatever code I have written, it is one and the same. Overview sap.ui.view, and I have given the view name and type, and overview I am placing at the content. Just I have added an extra, this sap.ui.local resources. So when I refresh this, so it will call the text string. So we'll see no view type specified. View type is already specified. So if I press a type, and I'm going to save. See, the text field comes, right? Text field. right? So it has to be type there, not view type. Okay, it's a type. It's a small correction. So it is a type. So without saying anything, we have to write the code. Then you'll be having a good code. You'll have a confidence. You'll have good confidence when it's all comes with experience. Not need to worry. So once if you make any mistake, how do you correct it? That also has shown. So it normally happens when you code by yourself. You'll come across with different errors. So firstly, you'll not be an expert. So you slowly become. So how are you going to do? So this is how a simple way. It doesn't even take 2 or 3 seconds to check whether our code is correct or not. The standard things. So like this, simply check in the console and you can directly come here and you can recorrect your errors. Okay, and then we're gonna add our new extended control. So I'm going to comment this and I'm going to uncomment this. So once I uncomment this, and I have to get my highlighted text editing. Okay, this highlight. So what I've done is existing control, I've placed a yellow color with the text already inside it. How we have done it, we'll see that first. So what we have taken is, first we have taken SAP UI.commons.text field, that is already an existing control. So inside this existing control, we have used an extend keyword and we have given a name to this extended control, and to this extended control we have placed no meta information. Straight away we are rendering it. So this is how you call a new control type, highlight field. So I'm going to inherit all the SAP UI.commons.text field, and then I'm going to add inner attributes. So inner attributes are nothing but inside this text field I'm going to add a yellow color, and to that yellow color I'm going to add a new value. So how are you gonna add it? It's ORM and add style, and this we will get. So ORM will be a reference of all the properties related to this text field, and then this OText field comes. OText field is nothing but the output. So when we go here, so I'll say wait. Okay, when I show F12, once I load it, I'll see that there are no breakpoints, and I put a breakpoint at exact thing. So extend text field view. So inside this I'm going to put a breakpoint, and here on the 34th line I'm going to put a breakpoint. So when I refresh this, so it has to go here first, and then now this control it goes, and it's a callback method. Yeah, it's a callback method, right? So after, what we are doing is, when we use rendering is nothing but what we're doing is on after rendering. So once, I already told before, when the control is already displayed, that time we're gonna do our changes, extending, right? So we have rendered inner attributes now, because we are rendering inner attributes, that is nothing but color now. So that's the reason I've used inner attributes. Here, whenever it comes to on after rendering or render inner attributes, you'll have ORM. So ORM nothing but basic UI control properties will come here, and then here your text field properties will come, your text field, your control and UI control. So ORM is nothing but framework control, UI.control, that is SAP UI.co.control, and when it's OText field, your control. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this ORM, add class, add style class, add style. So I'm going to add style for this. So automatically it gets reflected to this particular text field. Okay, this change could also be done with the plain CSS also. It's no need, but I'm just showing you an example, simple example. I don't want to give you a complex examples because I want to give you a better understanding. Then when you have a complex controls, you have to develop by yourself. Just learn the basics right, then I'm pretty sure you can do well with your complex controls. So these are render inner attributes. So we have a function. Inside this function ORM is nothing but SAP UI.co.control. That will come here, and inside this O text field your text field control will come. So ORM add class, so that will add the background of this control, O text field control, with this color. So what is this color? This is hexadecimal color. You can plan to your own control also. You can give whatever you want. Clear? So this is how your controls gets cleared. So that's yellow color. So if you want, you can give a pink color also, blue color also. You can give your own color here. So you can give pink, yellow, blue. Give blue and save it, and it has to get reflected. Once I refresh this, it should get refreshed because this changes with the CSS, and sometimes the cache has such information. So your code has have it refreshed. So I'm going to refresh it. Let's see your code gets, yeah, and I'm going to do F8. Yeah, now your code is updated. Now yeah, see, there's a blue color. Similarly, you can have whatever controls you want, and you can do whatever you want. Clear? So firstly, you have to remember how the control you get extended, and we have seen three basic examples now. So one is hello control, and one is how do you extend the custom control, and how you extend a text field, that is button and text field. Clear? So basically the custom controls is used for extending a present SAP UI5 control or creating your own control. So in this session we have seen so far how do you extend SAP UI5 controls. So when it comes is, we have already discussed, when we have a button, we already have properties, associations, events to that particular button, but our requirement is to have a H over. On that H over we want to place some information. So that is why what we're going to do is we're going to add H over event to that button, and then we're going to display a message. We have displayed SAP UI dot message. So what we have done here is extending control. So we'll go here, see, we have done it for the index.html, H over event, yeah, see, H over event. So in this H over event we have placed a message alert. So that is what we have done. So how it understands H over event is, we have to understand and write a jQuery event when you do H over. So when it's H over, then there will be an event file. So that is this dot file H over, and once it is done, it will come to this particular H over, and it will display that message, whatever message has been placed there. And the next is extend text field. So how we gonna extend text field is, we have created a new view and we're gonna go it for the custom controls. Once we go to the custom controls and extend text field, so once we go extend text field, in this scenario we have a text field, and inside the text field we're gonna place some color. So that is nothing but a background color. So we have started with SAP UI.commons.text field.extend. So we're gonna extend that particular text field and we give a name to that text field, that is highlight text field. And to this we're gonna have a renderer. So inside this renderer inner attributes, and there's a function ORM event under text field. And once it's good, and we get ORM dot add style. So this is how we're gonna add a style, because our requirement is to add a background color. So we are adding a background color here. So ORM dot add style. So we're gonna add style like this. Inside this we have a background color, and once the background color comes, and we're gonna add this property called background color, and it will replace with blue color. So this is how we're gonna add CSS property to that particular text field. So this is how the text field OControl is created. And there is something called my control, like how we're gonna use the new control which you have created, that is with the new keyword, and you will be just giving the name. So this name and this name should get matched. So you can say this 2, and here also you can get 2. Then you has to get matched. Then only your control gets created, and this value is already there with the existing text field control. So that is get called, and it will be placed. The value inside the text field will be highlighted editing, and then we're going to return this text field, and we'll see whether the name we changed will display or not. So once we refresh this, see, now we'll check the code whether the 2 whatever you have given comes or not. See, 2 here, and then here 2. Okay, that name and this name should be same. Thank you, and in the next session we'll see how to create a new control from the scratch. That is nothing but Google control. We're gonna take an example of Google control and we're gonna do it. So wait. Yeah, thank you.